Hello, welcome to Mori. Last episode I had some problems with the video from Mikomo and Nihei with their unknown works, so I'm doing the episode new. Again. So basically, I'm basically just gonna do the whole video again. But with better audio, I hope. Well, here we go. First work is from Koji Mikomo. Mikomo. Never been good with names, but whatever. And it is from the Beyond. Now, from the Beyond, I found last year in Italy on my trip to Italy for to in a shop in the magazine in the Kappa magazine. Yeah, still need to get into it, whatever. In a Kappa magazine, and I really like the art, so I bought it. Bought the whole story, and like there's two stories, When and Where, and From the Beyond from the 90s is from 1995, and the other one is from 1997. And they've been in the afternoon magazine in Japan, but we don't know anything about the guy. We just know his Japanese his kanji name, and beyond that, we don't know anything else. We just know his name, that he had an award from When and Where, and not the one from the Beyond, which is better in my opinion because it has some influence from Shadow Out of Time, and the Shadow Out of Time is a work by Lovecraft that deals with a guy that has swapped bodies with another creature that lived on Earth for thousands of years ago, and they swapped bodies through space and time for a couple of months. Then they switched back, and then the guy thought he was crazy. Till he thought about it and saw all his drawings and whatnot. Maybe I'm not crazy. So he went with a group of archaeologists um, to the desert to go to a cave and go exploring there. He went in there, saw a tablet, and in that tablet he saw his own writing in English. So he was not mad. It was him that was in the body. So he traveled back up the cave system, but in his gut feeling, he thought somebody was chasing him. So he was running. And when he came out, the tablets were gone. And was it real? Was it not? We will never know. So that's the whole story of that, basically. If you want to read it, it's a great read. So, yeah. And that's is probably influenced by it, but we don't know anything else by the guy. I went to Manga Morch, which is a Twitter account that does manga news of all sorts, new, old, whatnot, really. And I asked him to make two tweets about it. He did. So we got some people that got some links from the real his real name, got forth the afternoon magazines, some Italian from Kappa magazine. That's it. That's how far we came. So if anybody wants to do a deep dive on the guy and found more about him, what happened to him, did he make more? We have no clue because maybe he just wanted to be left alone, or he made more, but they were all rejected for awards or whatnot, so he just stopped. We don't know. So up to the story. So the story, oh yeah, interesting bits. At the same time, I was in Italy. These people, scanners, they also found Kappa magazine and also scanned it in on a 4K scanner, way higher resolution. And they also and it was also translated by Coma, which is also on the stream wizard, which I also talked for months about this thing, trying to look it up and just translating process and whatnot. So, yeah, So we got a better scan. I also scanned it myself, but it was all Italian, and I don't have the best scanner in the world, just a normal scanner, you could say, and that's about it for that. So yeah, I was just spreading around his name and his works, basically what did. So yeah, but here we see a girl, a professor. This is a professor, by the way. Now sort of professor, psychologist, looking through a book as he's dreaming about a secret library of sorts. And then she wakes up, and she's basically, her goal is to examine a number of people that have strange dreams and what happens with these strange dreams on different planets like Mars or Jupiter or whatnot. This is in the far future, basically, and she is researching this. And about 5% of people have the same dream over and over and over on the planet Mars. My name, coincidentally. So, yeah. So here we on the ship, and you can see from his drawings that he has really detailed art. It's like a bit more like, and the characters too. Like the characters are like a more Belgian Franco kind of style, in my opinion. A bit Hergé, a bit, any other author from the time. Uh, so yeah, it just has really good art, and it has a lot of theories in here and a lot of different teams and whatnot. Well, different teams, not that many, but still, it's got a lot for such a short work. And this professor is basically explaining that they're mining on Mars to have for some sort of mineral. So it's a bit like Dune, but different. And also for research purposes to what happened to the planet, like we do now. And it wants to also do space travel for tourism, but to the planets. But no, that's just been shut off. So yeah, and you can and I will put some links down below to for you to like, check out. Here they're basically explaining that there's some meteoroids impact that had some biological life, biological evolution was happening there. So that's why they're there. They're researching it, which also comes back in the story itself. And the girl is called Dr. Matoy. Yeah, Matoy. And he is Professor Gallon. And the meeting. And here she's basically explaining that she is researching all these strange dreams and what happened to all these people that have the same dream. And they're all looking for some representative, one that can open the door on Mars, on a strange structure, on a strange world with a symbol on it that they're all dreaming about, but they can't get to, basically. And here you see the mining process of the planet with lasers, basically. Colonization, they try to colonize the planet, but it doesn't work, so we have to see. Uh, is there anything else? No. And here she is, and here she is with a patient looking at the base of the thing, at the base of Mars, to look at a strange corridor that he was dreaming about with these pillars that light up through a strange door. And about 5% of the people have these strange dreams. So, and she is also has the same dream. So, yeah, you the same thing. Their representative. They need to find a representative, basically. Nearest the strange symbol that they're looking for. That is also on the ground of Mars. We'll see later on. Here they're taking off to go for a trip to research to another base, basically. And they hope that they get through the storm. So they get through the storm, they crash, and then the rest of the thing unfolds. And she's dreaming again. Uh, yeah, here she's dreaming again about the strange library. A bit the same as the Shadow Out of Time, which a guy just wrote in a book, but he has long forgotten what he has wrote in it, or why, or what planet, or what this was. Basically, I'm pretty sure this was the inspiration to it. And she sees a strange symbol, or the same that we've seen before from the other dreams that she researched. And here they say, and here they hear that they're gonna crash on the planet, but there's nothing to worry about. But they have to brace themselves. Here they see the planets. I mean, the surface, the symbol on the ground. How is that possible? And you see in the structure and like it's just really detailed, and the girl is also cute. It's just a lot of work went into this just for the guy to disappear forever. So it's just found really strange that he's just made this and just never again. I mean, I would love to have more of this kinds of works, this kinds of sci-fi works to be made. So, like, why not? Inspired by Lovecraft. Who doesn't? So there's nothing wrong really with the craft. There's nothing um, on the exterior, but the communication centers, our communication devices out, the radio is out, basically. C-Trans explains that he saw a weird pattern right before they crash, but nobody believes her because who would believe this? And here she's dreaming again, seeing the symbol yet again, like she's drawn to it, so she has to go after it. Symbol, am I dreaming? Right, it's calling me. And you can see also with the eyes, it's like really detailed. Look at this stuff. It's great. It's also really nice. Like disappearing point. And all these pillars with this, you know, ancient civilization that put them there. Ancient somebody. And she's taking a walk in her suit. She's also really detailed. Near, she finds the door with the symbol on it. Door opens. She enters. There she sees the library. The book. And what? It's a giant crystal cave. And there she meets her other half. So basically what's happening here is the crystals that she's holding contains all of her knowledge. And she just touches her own knowledge, and that's just a projection of the library. Her own knowledge is in there. So a meteorite has fallen down on Mars. Then they split in two, and the other part went to Earth, and the other one part stayed there, like she was discarded as an old wreck, basically. Like two halves was the same thing, like a meteorite, basically, a biological life. And the other half that went to Earth created life, basically, and created all the personalities and all the imagine and all the or um, or thoughts or creativity, basically that they made. Yeah. Here we are two or we are two we two are inhabitants of a distant world, and it's by traveling across different dimensions that we arrived in this universe. So they crossed different dimensions. They traversed long distances with each other, and they're just one of the same halves. And she looks like each other because it's just a projection of her. Because what else should be stuck into a rock? And it's like, it's got to be something that's familiar to her, basically, her own projection. And there's the cave, basically, for the crystals, like basically a meteorite, you could say. And like it's really detailed. It's like does thing me of those giant crystal caves in Mexico or something. Swear, no, it wasn't in Mexico, Peru. I don't remember, but those giant crystal caves that are like hundreds of meters under the ground. If you want to Google that, you'll probably find really fast. And basically, what happened was when she landed, or her off landed on Earth, there also came other meteorites on the Earth, released the gas and made her forget who she was, what her origin was, and thus spreading around to different life forms, or like evolutionary going to other life forms. They also and well, when they came to humanity, there were some people that recognized their own origin and wanted to go back, and others wanted to ignore it. Ignorance is bliss, you could say, and that's this stone basically. Fragments of their original memories choose these places as their destinations, so they return. Yeah. And basically, she's the representative. She's the main body of the whole thing, basically. The main thing. But she doesn't believe it. How can this all be true? And those who remember the origin, they wish to be surrounded on Earth. Ignorance is bliss, basically, what I already said. And here is the drilling bits of the projector, or I mean of the drilling device ship. The drilling ship is just mining away and also destroying the cave. She wants to stop it, they don't hear her, and then she gets blasted. Yeah, the cave destroyed, but she still has the stone that she got. But she survives. Man, nice stuff. And here they find it, and they find the stone basically. So everybody has survived after everybody has come back safe, and they're going in the meeting about meteorites. And basically, what how they explain is that this is a it creates and has an hallucination with everybody that comes in contact with it. So basically, they hallucinate the cave, the dreams, everything basically. It's all an hallucination, but there's a truth to it. And long ago, this meteorite also came down on Earth and made their imagination, as you could say, in the revolution. So yeah, and to their contribution, their evolution giving birth to humanity as we know it. It's unbelievable, but apparently this is what happened. So a lot of words and stuff I don't really fully know, so don't expect me to fully explain it. But hey, and basically what happened to her was a very to the doctor was a very complex hallucination. When her suit got cracked, her glass got cracked. some of the hallucinogenic dust came into her, and that whole thing that you just saw was just one big hallucination, basically. And she's just basically, and they just think that it's all bullshit. It's not real. It's all fake. It was just all her own dream, her own mind playing tricks on her, basically. You can all read this yourself and just think. I haven't read that much, but enough. And here she's back, and she just doesn't believe it. She thinks we have simply forgotten who we are, where we came from, and where we're headed. The end. And this was 1995. Yeah, this was 1995, and the other one was 1997. Yeah, it's true. So, yeah. Well, let me go to the next work. Any minute. Hold on. There we go. All right. This is Where and When. The one that got the award from the Four Seasons Award for the afternoon magazine in Japan. Big manga magazine, basically, which hosted uh, Nie's works, Mushishi. You can name it, it's on there. So this work is more about a girl that got a pendulum and on a string, and she's looking for crystals with it. Crystals in her area, basically a bit of a more spiritual adventure, you could say. It's a bit of a strange world too. It's not really. I don't really know what the rules are in this world. It's just like kind of weird based. I don't know. I can see why, maybe because of the atmosphere, but the rest is not that interesting. It's not the best story he made out. It's still great stuff, but for the art and beyond that, that's a bit weird. But hey, that's where am I for. So basically, it's about this girl, this high school girl, a cute girl, I can say. I must say, just walking through her city, high school girl, I guess, looking through her city. Here she gets a pendulum and searches for crystals or just elements that just things. So yeah, and when the coin spins clockwise, then it's yes, and anti-clockwise is no. So when and then you know when it is when she knows it's there or not. Because she collects it. Then she walks along the factory, which is also really nice. Look at all these pipes and all this stuff that's really detailed. It's like it's too good to just abandon all this and just do something else. But I don't know, maybe it didn't pan out for him, but who knows? Okay, next page. And here she finds her permit, a permit to basically walk at night, going through factories and all kinds of shit because she's 16. But I don't know. So you need literally have a permit to walk through certain structures. You're 16, thus she can just walk through. You just need a piece of paper and just go and walk through it with nobody at your side or whatnot. So just a casual walk through a giant factory. Yeah, it's a bit weird. It doesn't really make any sense. And here she's mapping out all the different crystals or elements that she found around her neighborhood and all the on that she has on this map, basically his room. And here she's basically explaining with a reference to a real book you see at the top. Here's a guide to Rhapsody. Yeah, it's a bit small for me, so I can't really read that. So, oh well. So basically, she's saying here there are 7 minerals that can be found, covering a radius of 1 kilometer from your home. The 7 minerals are likely to be found in that area. Human beings are bound to Earth by 7 minerals. They should grant you peace of mind along with a grow as a redomancer. In order to obtain them, it's necessary to get hold of a detailed map of the research area. So yeah. And basically, it's just explaining to her like what needs to be done to find these elements. So clockwise, then it's a yes. Anti-clockwise, it's a no. And it needs to be between the thumb and your pinky. It needs to be the string that long to work. Oh yeah, and the girl's Hiroko. By the way, not really that important, but hey, now you're an adult, and that's her permit, and she can just go. Yeah, well already said. Rhapsody of Oblivion. When you feel like you've lost something of importance thanks to this method, you'll be able to retrieve it or remember it. The planning must be twice as long as normal. The length, the so yes, clockwise. Well, yeah. So it's basically just a bit of a spiritual venture. And here she's trying it out, going through all the stages. And she concentrates and closes her eyes and it spins counterclockwise. Holy shit. It's doing something. Yeah. And so it's this address basically. The factory. And so she goes at night to look for it. Like so yeah. It's also really nice, like with the lights, just with all these lines just playing around with all these shadows. It's just really nice. It's just pretty nice and detailed stuff, you could say. It's like nice. Okay, kitty walking around, girl alone. Not smart, but hey, it's not my world. Walking, lots of walking here. Bit like blame, but hey, that's a story for another one, for another time. And she comes at the factory, also really goddamn detailed. Look at this stuff. But she can come in because the pyramid is for the day and not the night, so she has to come back during the day. And here she comes through the day. And just walks in casually with nobody at the end time. It's a bit weird. And why do you need a permit to be at night or something? But I guess it's just for the factory not going at night or something. I don't know. No, it's also for going at night. That's also what it said. The permit said also to come at night. I don't know. It's a bit weird. And here she's just casually walking around this giant mecha structure of a factory with like melting iron, I guess, what they're doing. Also really nice. Look at this stuff. Melting pots, just some cute girl walking through the mecha structure. Like you want to. Bit like Girls Last Tour, but only not their last tour, not so goddamn depressing. Here, this just look at this. It's just a giant mecha structure. It's like this giant ass tower. And then she sees something shiny, so she climbs to it. But just a piece of glass. Yeah, she doesn't find any minerals, basically. But then she looks behind and look at all this stuff. Look at all these buildings. All detail, or the factory, the tower, the rust, the thing is everything. It's so goddamn nice. And apparently it's in one their city is in one big valley. Because you see all these stone pillars rising up, so they're on some kind of valleys. It's just I don't know, are they underground? What is the Grand Canyon? I don't know, but it's not a Grand Canyon because I also would be a lot fucking hotter. So yeah, but it's just really goddamn nice. Look at this stuff. It's the stuff you want. Look at her. The hair, the face. It's just, mm, yeah, good stuff. It's just walking, basically. It's just a lot of walking. And here I'm still looking and it fades away. Look at this pipe and thing is, it's also nice. And then she just goes home. Yeah, nothing else happens. It's just a bit of a mystery all. Bit of a weird world. Oh well. Where and when? And from 1997. Yeah, that was his last story. Beyond that, we don't know anything else about this author. So, if anybody wants to do a deep dive on this guy, that would be nice if anybody can find anything at all. Maybe the Japanese, maybe the afternoon magazines hold a bit more info. But I don't know. They just won this award and nothing else. Why would there be a whole interview with the guy? So I don't think there's much more info about it. So yeah. Oh well. Okay. Next one. Excuse me. Let me have a look. All right. And this is Idaho from Tsutomu Nihei. One of my favorite authors, you could say, because I've goddamn everything. If you know the streams, the podcast, I know I've talked a lot about the guy. And this is one of his last stories that was not online or published anywhere for a long goddamn time. His work was published in Akai Kiba, Volume 2 in 2002. And The theme of in this series run from 2002 to 2014, and each book had a theme. That could be sports, that could be school, sex, even. So this book, volume two, was the theme sex. So each story from different mangaka, from authors like authors that made like stories like what was the story again? Blade of the Immortal, obviously, the manga of that work. And other stories, and Abe also made a story in there. And yeah, and Nieke also multiple times back. So yeah, a lot of people that came in this. And also the Q Hasaida from Doro is also in there. So a lot of authors are also in here. So so basically with this story, a few years ago I found a page on Amazon that somebody sold a book with this story in it. It was chocolate, and uh he posted also some pictures of this story. So I want to buy it. Went on my own way, got it, and scanned in with my very first scans, and they're not good. They're pretty bad. Also got that translated and on Manga, so you can read that if you want to read it. The translated version. But I also rescanned them in, and that's what you're looking at now. They're way better than whatever I put out back then. So yeah, it's also pretty nice. And basically, this story is like he went just by the minimal to get into the book, basically to get to the themes of sex. That's why the cover is just this silicon life creature with everything blurred out, etc., etc., just to come by a thing. And the main character, Idaho, or like yeah, Idaho, is basically all these animal characters that can talk. And why is the story audio? Because the ape's hoodie says Ido. And he's buying a porno mag. Another reason why he should be in the magazine, because yeah, he was never on sexual stuff except for Blame Gaggo and Blame Academia had some sexual stuff, but that's a bit later. So yeah, I don't know. The guy's never been big on that, and all his stories doesn't have that much on it, except for Sidonia and later on, but whatever. So basically, what he's buying here from the llama porno mac and some other groceries. Then he's going out, going, alright, I'm going home, gonna have a good time, I guess. And then comes the llama back. Oh no, you forgot something, Mister. You forgot something. And like, oh shit. And then this cock, literally a cock, ramps him over, ramps over the llama. The ape is just looking at this like, the fuck? Just rides off into the mecha structure or something. I don't know. It's just obviously yeah, because look at the pipes and look all the structure, or maybe a bit more biomech, I could say. But he's mad. Like the fuck you ran him over. Then he spilled out his food, his contents basically, and then he swears to take revenge on the cock. So he's probably gonna take on GBE and murders him. I can see it already. It's just an A with a GBE. You're just going through the mecha structure. Hell yeah, I would buy that. I would buy it. Swears to get take revenge. And that's Ido. It was a really short story. One of his last stories that was never put online. Or, well, it was put online in the early 2000s. But it was all shady sites. So when those sites went down, the manga also went down. So it just got lost at time, and nobody knew for a really long time what it looked like, except for one form, Haynes blame form site basically, which was a big forum back in the day, the biggest. that had everything from Nihei for years. It ran from 2014 to like a few years ago. And then it went down, but we also have an archived version. It's on our size NetSphere, so you can look at that. And but the picture was also back in the day. Well, a few years ago, you couldn't also look at it because it was also gone. So, but that's the only mention of it you can find anywhere, or maybe on mall or something or other stuff. But that's it. There's no images from it anywhere. Till I got my hands on it and scanned it in basically. and and then I posted a few times on Reddit, and a few people actually remember the time that they actually saw it back in the day when they were like 10 or 8 or something on their computer by chance. So yeah, there's a few people that actually remember it, but it's a pretty obscure part of Nihei that not many people know about. Or thanks to me, a few more people. Oh well. So yeah, I know. The next one, the last one, is BBB. Okay. Okay, here we go with BBB, which was published in Akai Kiba, also called Red Fang, by the way, in Japan, in 2006 for the sixth volume. And that's the cover of the thing. It also has different stories. This was sport riding dragons, for instance, on a school ground. Yeah, weird stories basically, but Japan, so you know. And Nie never really made a sports manga up until this point. I guess with like academia, he kind of went that way. So, but I don't know why he did something similar like this, because this makes absolutely no sense. This whole story. It's like called BBB because the thing that lands on the planet says uh, has the sound BBB, it's like flying around basically. Let's just sketch out with here the name. And this story has absolutely nothing to do with sports. Like what is it supposed to do? Hanging guys is a sports, I guess. Some creatures riding them, some giant creature through this giant kind of city. It's definitely Nia. It definitely has the weird stuff like what Nia would put in with like all the weird creatures in the darkness and whatnot. Yeah, something just flies out of the sky, and you see some guy collecting grass or something like that. I don't know why. He's just harvesting. I have no clue the fuck this to do. And then here it lands, tonk, something like that. And then we see it was not a meteorite. It was some kind of device. I have no clue. There's also nothing wrote on Nie on his works, basically. Well, nobody mentions this, basically. It was just made and immediately forgotten, basically. The blog of Akai Kiba mentions this work. And it says about it was looked really sporty, like from the automatic translation I could get from. And that's about it for this. Like it kind of looks like if you know the Tatami Galaxy old story, Tatami Galaxy Time Machine Blues. It also looks like the Time Machine a bit, like if you put it flat on its side. If you put it flat, then it kind of looks at the thing. But I don't think he knows about that work. That was a novel from 2001, so it could be possible. But I don't know if that was the intention. But I have no clue what the fuck this has to do with sports. Maybe something Japanese, but I don't think they ever use this. So yeah, that's that story. And this is literally the last story that is put online. I also found that like a month back or something, not that long ago. Got it, and then also scanned it in, and bingo, here we go. There has BBB. Has nothing to do with sports. I have no clue. I met him once, DA, in 2019 in France, in Angoulême, for the big festival, but I didn't know about it. If I could have answered him, maybe it's just, oh, I just drew it just because, just cause. I don't know. The theme of the thing is sports. What has this to do with sports and nothing? So I don't know how this ties in with sports. So yeah, I don't know what his idea would be of this. I don't know. Maybe I can look on Haynes' website just to see if anybody mentioned it, but I doubt it. But hey, Idaho was on there, so why not this? But I had more of a story than this. So yeah, that was it for this. For this video, hopefully the audio is way better than it is now, because that was last video and the video before that, because that was really shitty. That was just, I guess, my laptop um, had problems or something with the audio. I don't know. I'm doing this on my Steam Deck, by the way. So this is the first video on the Steam Deck, I guess. I don't think many people stream on a Steam Deck, but hey, the thing is way more powerful than my goddamn laptop or anything I own. So hey, it's basically a mini computer and works fine up till now. So why not? So yeah. Um, well, all the links for this will be in the link in the description, and maybe if I find something new, I will add to it some links. If there's something of equivalent, maybe on Haynes' website, it's just a mention of BBB in Akai Kiba, and that's it, and there's nothing else to add. So yeah, then I won't add it. If it's something new, then yeah, sure, but otherwise, no. So yeah, it's from but it's also pretty good stuff. It's just stuff I randomly found or just interested in, just scanning myself. Because who else will scan this in anyway? There's not many people that will find this stuff or either scan in, because the copyright laws in Japan are really damn high. So people say they will like wait, they have to wait like 17 years after somebody's dead, and then they're gonna scan things in. But then at that point, like, who's gonna care about that? And you know who. It's like also a lot of magazines, different magazines that I have bought over the years and recently now that I have gotten that I need to scan in, and either will have scanning when you see this video, or like when in the future somewhere. So yeah, that was it for me. I hope you found this informative or want to read this stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Oh yeah, also subscribe, share, whatever you want. Bye.